Retrospective of Citizens of Reality, Season 4, Part 3.
What addictions had impacted your life, and how?
Addiction is a form of self-medication. Self-medicating. So if it's drugs, you're trying to forget something. I think with sex, you're trying to feel something.
Addictions have impacted my life in countless and numerous ways, and it's not because I'm a first-hand user. Being adjacent to people, their addictions can take you down and run you through the mud. They also pick up illicit drugs. One time, I sat and waited on this person while they said, hey, I gotta just run in here and grab some things from this house. They were dressed up nicely and we were getting ready to have a good time out. I found out they were in that place using drugs.
The addiction to sugar. That caused me to obtain the wonderful disease known as diabetes. The addiction to the internet. Every time somebody breaks your phone, or you have an issue where you can't connect to other people, you realize the world still goes on without the internet. But is social media evil? No. But is the way we use it currently detrimental and addictive? Yes.
There's something near and dear to my heart, and it was an addiction for a very long time. And it still is, in a weird way. Pop culture. Can't get enough of it. Whether it be social media, whether it be pop culture itself. And yes, I will be the first hypocrite to say pop culture didn't pay for a lot of stuff in my house. Because it just did. But yes, you're talking to a guy who reads comics. I'm 40 and I still read comics. You're talking to a guy who watches TV. You're talking to a guy who's on his phone. You're talking to a guy who's going to do this and retain this knowledge. And yes, it is an addiction.
Well, the first step to recovery is acceptance.
Is the art of chivalry canceled in today's society? Has the lack of courtesy affected buying black?
How the black businesses are forced into higher prices already, and then we got to deal with lack of courtesy and attitudes because of the people that work there act as if they don't want to be there no way.
Civility is not necessarily canceled. I think civility is something that's not. It's something that's not promoted.
From a business standpoint, about black businesses being able to be competitive, it's definitely hard to compete. I mean, how do you expect your mom and pop grocery store, that's already struggling to compete with, the Walmarts and the Sam's Clubs and things of that nature? So I think we, as a community, need to prioritize, community over, individual savings.
Ever since Agent Orange was president, civility has gone out the door. People believe and think they can do and say anything they want, and you just have to take it, because if you fight back, then you're a villain.
I want to patronize black business. I'm willing to sometimes drive a little further to chop it up with my own financially, and I'm willing to spend a little more if necessary for service. But where I draw the line is on professionalism, and I draw the line on respect. Why am I expecting this to be, I get that. You come in here, do what you got to do, and you be as respectful as you possibly can, but it's not your home life.
My job was exclusively dealing with complaints.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things they taught us about complaints, and I hate this rule, but I understand why they give it. We cannot say the word no. We can't say the word no. Like, all right, if that no is coming, look, here's what I can do. I still didn't say no. Here's what I can do.
That's right. That's right.
And then I will give them whatever solutions.
Olivia Hooker, shout out to her, first Coast Guard black woman. She's 97 years old, and she's being honored. That's huge.
I think it was called the Greenwood Community. Is that right, Dr. Hooker?
Yes, that's correct.
Now tell us a little about the Greenwood Community before the riots?
Well, the Greenwood community was a prosperous business section in which all the entrepreneurs worked together, and so it was practically self-sufficient. We didn't have...
Deja Taylor, 17 years old, she's invented a suture that detects the bacteria in stitches, and they're color changing, so it gives a visual warning that bacteria and infection are rising, and a doctor or medical staff would know to address it immediately.
When our children excel and become who they were actually put here to be,
at least for the first time in my lifetime, that I'm seeing a situation where black men as a whole, we're saying, you know what, we're kind of tired of just going along with the flow. We know that this America as a whole really don't care about us, and there hasn't really been any type of effort to do anything for us. But I'm happy to say that, at least for the first time, and I don't know what the outcome will be, I'm happy to see that we as black men are talking about it, that we as black men are cognizant of it, that we are black men are tired of it. And I'm happy that we have said, you know what, we don't care what color a candidate is. We don't care. We don't care what you say you're going to do. We want to see proof of what it is that you're going to do.
One of the things is congratulating black children when they've done well.
Just everyday stuff. Sometimes the good news it's not sensationalized. It's not exactly it's not grandiose or anything like that. It's just, sometimes it's just as simple as the kids did this thing. We went to school and this school did this. It seems normal. It seems like
today was a good day.
Boring, just to put on Front Street. But it is good news. And the reason it's good news is because we don't hear enough of that stuff. It's like
you have to notice the difference in a street pimp and a pimp that's in the pulpit. Both out for the same thing.
A pimp in the pulpit. Wow. So pimps in the pulpit, in my estimation, are the Antichrist.
For many deceivers have gone out into the world, those who do not confess the coming of Jesus Christ in the flesh. Such a one is the deceiver and the Antichrist.
I won't apologize, because if it wasn't for me going down that route, I would have never ended up where I am right now. But I will say that I have no shame at all at saying,
how can I rake in this amount of money? How can I bring this many people in so they can pay their tithes? The Bible says that we're supposed to take care of the widows and the children, the orphans.
There is no blessing connected to blessing the poor other than getting back what you gave to them, but no multiplication. Multiplication is segregated for tithes and offering.
Proverbs 19:17. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done.
There's four types of people in this world. You have to second guess everything they say. There's pimps, politicians, preachers, and Cowboys fans. Every time you have those type of people, they always have an excuse for whatever that they did wrong.
Well, I had a kind of extensive conversation about Christianity, nationalism, just religion in general, kind of looking over definitions of what religion is.
Discussing pimps in the pulpit.
I would respect the pastor if he said, you know what, I'm a successful business person. I'm just teaching the word of the Lord because I believe in it.
Yeah.
Every now and then you find one that they're not really making a lot of money doing that, but they really are doing it because that's something they believe in.
It's always a pastor. Anytime I go down south, even to this day, I went down south, you got to watch them. That person is heaven sent, hell bound. And they would tell me that because it was sort of like, hey, watch this type of person. Joel Osteen did come up.
Sometimes the households, what the pastor says has more credibility than the person that you're in the trenches with every single day. And I don't think that's correct. Or, like when somebody hits their mate with, the pastor said this, the pastor said this also, when that, you're hearing all that.
But you ain't hearing it every day.
Yeah, but you don't, honey, are you married to the pastor?
I'm with you in the good and the bad. I'm with you in the trenches and in times we get a chance to go. So if somebody shows up, well, this person on TV said I should do this. Well, I need this person on TV to help me take out this garbage because, what are we doing here? Because don't be with them.
You got a church damn near on every corner, in and around the hood. Yet the hood is still the hood and always will be the hood. And there is no reason why the hood is the hood and you have the degree of spiritual institutions immersed in the hood that we do. If I proclaim myself a messenger of the Most High, I would find it extremely difficult for me to have no issue with passing a plate around, collecting what I know is probably the last few dollars that the individuals in my congregation are putting into that. And if it's not the very last that my congregation is putting in that, I know without a shadow of a doubt if they living in the hood that could definitely be going to something else.
S is going to prison for the next 9 years. Lamar Whitehead was found guilty of numerous fraud and attempted extortion charges along with lying to the FBI. Prosecutors described the 45-year-old church leader as a grifter, conning money from his followers.
As a Black American, we are not taught to have our own religion or to embrace religions from our native land.
African Americans are a completely unique phenomenon as a people. Who they are culturally, what their history is, what their experience is, isn't duplicated anywhere on earth. But you don't know where you came from. You don't know what country you came from. You don't know what culture you came from. You don't know what language you came from. You don't know what your religion was.
And this country is supposed to be freedom and religion for all, not some, all.
Lawrence Dunbar wrote, "We wear the mask. Where do you relax and take off the mask?"
You should be able to take off that mask in your place of tranquility. And really, it should be at home.
We wear the mask.
There was a time, especially in my 20s, where there was a distinct mask that had to be worn because there was a literal shame and embarrassment associated with my background.
To understand each community I was in, I went to the McDonald's to describe the demographics. It was really interesting, compelling, because what I've seen in the demographics of these particular cities, I will compare and say, well, these are the people that went here. These people, then I would describe the campus. And so, at most McDonald's, sometimes I see old men in there. They might be playing, I don't know, checkers or whatever. Sometimes they're just talking. Mm-hmm. And so I said, maybe this is kind of like my old man activity, going in here. Because I am trying to keep myself physically fit, but at the same time, I chop it up with people in there. Regardless of how big somebody is, how young, old, so on and so forth. And when you're not in spirit respect, that's when you have the problems.
Because you take off the mask at home.
The only one that really comes to mind is What Up, Though?
What up, though? What up, though?
What Up, Though? And that is because it is so thoroughly and truly authentically Detroit. I know there might be some people watching this video and you might be from someplace other than Detroit, and you too, because you heard somebody else say it or you seen somebody say it, you might be saying, or y'all crew, y'all might be saying what up dope too. But I'm telling you, that is Detroit.
I want to welcome y'all to Detroit when we say what up, though. That's right. So when you hear this song, I want you to say, hey, what up, what up, though? What up, though? What up, though? What up, though?
What up, though? You know, that's the most popular one. You can tell that just off seeing somebody. What up, though?
They still say that.
Yeah. That's like, it's natural. You don't even know what you're saying. Like,
what up, though? Oh, what up, though? See, he sees it. He sees it.
Well, cliches and phrases, I'm going to say that mainly was handed down from our mothers fathers, forefathers.
All right, I'm just gonna take this one. I say man a lot. I just do. It just comes out. I try to stop it. Man. Yeah, and I swear, if you edit this video, we probably at the 50 level right now. And I love this platform, man. This is so awesome. The time just melted away.